We're going to ask you to participate in a blockchain exercise. We will ask you to send this 1 Ether with custom data. Now, as before, this will be the test network, so you will not have to spend any money to participate in this exercise. As you can see here, I'm going to illustrate the exercise with a learner called Diana, who sends 1 Ether and custom data as well to Abel. As before, we will be using the MetaMask plugin in the browser, which connects to the MetaMask server, which is connected to the rest of the blockchain. In other words, we do not need to have a full copy of the blockchain. We simply make that connection from our server, and the MetaMask server connects to the rest of the blockchain network. We will also use Etherscan, the Ethereum block explorer. And just like MetaMask, Etherscan is connected to the rest of the blockchain server, and in this case makes the full stack of the node data, that is a copy of the rest of the data in the blockchain, and makes it browsable through a front-end browser. And so we will use it to verify the transactions that we are involved in. The account that I mentioned, the learner account that I mentioned, is labeled Diana, but remember, this is simply a pretty name that we're using in the exercise to be able to make a reference to the account address. On the blockchain, the only thing that exists is the long string that you see below her name, which is the account address. So this is a new account. It only has 1 transaction and it has a 5 Ether balance. So let me go ahead and move to Etherscan, and as you can see there, I have the account, and as you can see as well, there's only 1 transaction and there's a balance of 5 Ether. Let me go ahead and mention a couple of things before we get started on the demonstration. The only other thing that I'll mention is that the custom data that you need to send to us, and we will ask you to put your name in the custom data, needs to be sent to us in the hexadecimal format. If you want to take an easy way to generate this data, you can use one of the many converters that exist online that make the conversion from text to hexadecimal. So in this case, I am going to enter here the name of Diana Smith, and then I am going to convert, and as you can see there, we have a hexadecimal string. Now I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste. In this case, let's put it on a text editor. And as you can see there, I have pasted the information. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove the empty spaces. And now that we have done that, we can go ahead and select the string, copy it to the clipboard. And then we need to go back to the browser and open up MetaMask and start that transaction. As you can see here, we have the account of Diana Smith. We're going to start off by entering the recipient address. This is the address for Abel here. I'm going to go ahead and enter 1 Ether. I'm then going to go ahead and paste the information. This is the hexadecimal string. You can see it there in the window as well. This is just without spaces. I'm going to click next. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the cost here of gas, and I'm going to triple this. I'll put it at 60,000. And I'm simply doing that to ensure that it goes through faster. I'm going to go ahead then and click submit and wait for that transaction. And as you can see there, that transaction is now pending. And it looks like that has gone through. Let's go ahead and see if it has already been added to a block. And you can see there that it has. We have a transaction receipt of success. We have a transaction hash. And we can see there that has been included in this block here. If we go back to the account view, and we can do that by simply selecting here MetaMask and entering here view account on Etherscan, we should see that there are only two transactions. The first one was the account transaction that deposited the 5 ether, that transferred the 5 ether. And the second one is the one where that transfer is being made. Now, if we go back here and select the Abel account that I have because I have control of it, I'm going to go ahead and switch here to Abel, and I do the same thing. I do view account on Etherscan. We should see that transaction here where we received 1 ether, as you can see here, from Diana. And so let's go ahead and select that and move down to the bottom, so where we can see the input data. And if we select UTF-8, we can see there that we have the custom information that was sent as part of this transaction. So in this case, this information is now part of the blockchain forever, and we can cement her name in her transaction. And so what we want you to do in the course is we want you all to send this 1 ether. Remember, 1 test ether, not a real ether, so there's no expense that needs to be done. And to send it along with your name so that we can confirm that it was you that sent that transaction.